Aloha yogis, so glad you made it for another class. Just make sure you got your blocks, and if you love these classes, please don't forget to subscribe just at the bottom of the screen, and maybe send the videos to people you think might benefit from these classes. So I'll see you soon on your mat. Aloha. Aloha everyone. Thank you for coming to your YIN practice today. So it'll be a shorter class today, but we're going to dive into a few selective postures and just bathe into these areas with ourselves. So we're really coming into a calmer, more centered place and allowing the connective tissues to do their work in our bodies and really turn inwards with ourselves. So we'll start into a wide-legged child's pose. Have your blanket and your blocks nearby, because we will be using them, and if you ever need support for your practice, they'll be there. Open your knees mat width apart and send your hips into your heels. And you can have a bolster or a blanket underneath your chest here. And if this is too hard on your knees, you can always put a blanket right in between your calf and your knees. You can always plug a blanket in there. And then lower down your chest towards the mat, and just allow your chin to tuck inwards and your forehead to melt into your mat. Extend the arms forward. And we'll be here for 3 minutes. And just allow ourselves to take a deep breath. So we'll come and really check in with ourselves here. Settle into your child's pose. Take a deep breath in through the belly. And a gentle exhalation out the mouth. Do this again a few times on your own. Notice any thoughts that may be lingering in your mind. And if you might be able to put them aside, to just dedicate yourself and your practice to you in this time, this sacred time for yourself. Carve it into this space. And as you breathe in and out, notice the deeper sense of settling into your body. That mind-body connection you're creating. Notice how your legs, your lower back, your arms, your shoulders, your fingers, how they feel. Start deepening your breath. Lengthening your inhalations and your exhalations. I'll invite you to tap into your Ujjayi breathing. That is the relaxing breath you take at the back of the throat, creating an oceanic sound. Creating a beautiful ebb and flow with your breath. Allowing your heart and your chest to sink down deeper towards the mat. And you might start feeling tingling in your legs, but that's okay. Allow yourself to let go here. Relax the neck and your shoulders. Take a deep breath in through the belly, expanding all the sides of your torso. Sending the breath up the chest. And then exhale out the mouth. Empty it all the way out at the bottom. Do this again. And let it out. Then come back to your oceanic breath. Just allow yourself to fully relax here. On your next inhale, slowly walk your hands up towards your body, lifting yourself off of your blanket or the support you may have had. Just put that aside nearby. And we'll come onto our sit bones here. Okay. Just bring your legs forward and just slightly shake them to allow a deep opening of the back of the legs here. And then we'll come into seated butterfly. So bring the soles of your feet together, and you can have the feet closer to your midline or farther apart, creating more of a diamond shape. If you have a bolster or blocks here, you can be seated on a folded blanket right at the edge of the blanket to tilt your pelvis. You can also have a blanket, again, right in between your legs here, so that when you fold, you have support if you don't have a bolster. Another alternative is to use a block. And when you're folding forward, you might want your forehead to land on your block. So we're going to be in this seated butterfly pose for 3 minutes. So either way, get yourself comfortable and have your blocks nearby. We'll take a deep breath in here, lengthening the spine up towards the sky, feeling your sit bones really rooted down into your mat, okay? So closing your eyes, lifting the sternum up, feel that nice lengthening from the tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Again. And then start hinging forward at the hips, leading with the heart. Bringing your hands down on your mat. And you can, wherever you feel that nice, beautiful opening in the inner thighs, if that's enough for you right here, then stay here. Otherwise, you can continue to round forward slowly. And we're just here allowing ourselves with our breath, okay? So noticing the inhalations that you're taking and the exhalations. And when you exhale, allow yourself to fold a little bit deeper here. Allow your shoulders to now fold forward. Feel the toes and the soles of the feet touching. Come to your Ujjayi breathing and turn inwards right into your midline, your kidney area, and your heart center. Focusing on this time to nourish ourselves inwards, resting, calming down. This time of year can be quite
challenging and emotionally busy and very overcharged. And we can decide whether or not we want to feed that in our lives today, or if we want something different for ourselves. Deep breath, deep down into the pelvis, sending your breath into the hips and the inner thighs. And exhale, allow the thighs to keep opening outwards, feeling the gravity do its work on your legs. Relax your fingers and your face and your jaw. Option to also have blankets or blocks underneath the knees if you need support there. And whatever thoughts that may be coming into your mind again, just allow your thoughts to happen without any desire to do much with them, and not hang on to them either. Just let them flow by instead of allowing them to control you. Be in the present moment, appreciating this moment right now. Slowly come up off of the blanket bolster blocks. Remove these out of the way and slowly draw the knees in and give yourself a hug here. And then we'll extend our legs forward, okay? And we'll come back with the bolster or blanket right on our thighs, and maybe also sitting on a blanket. And we'll inhale, reaching the arms overhead, and then exhale, lengthen your arms forward, reaching with the chest here. And then exhale your arms down, either on your mat, your shins, or holding onto your feet with minimal effort. And then allow yourself to just completely sink down into your support here. A lot of what we're doing right now is turning inwards and folding into ourselves. Just in different ways and targeting different areas of our bodies. Feel that comfort you're creating right into your heart center. Come into your breath here. Breathe into the back of the thighs, the hamstrings, you might even be feeling that in the calves. Make sure you don't feel any pain in the lower back. And just allow yourself here to completely let go. feel your sit bones rooted down into your mat. And notice how your hips feel here. The back of the thighs and your hips. And we'll be here for another 30 seconds. Maybe you want to remove the bolster or the blanket that you had, and you might want to go in a little bit deeper here if that's accessible to you. Deep breaths here. Come into your breath. You're doing really well. And sometimes it's really difficult for us to calm down and to find stillness. Stillness within ourselves, with ourselves. And slowly, mindfully walk yourself up with your hands. And then bring the soles of the feet onto the mat and send your hands behind your hips about a foot away. Open your feet mat width apart and just sway your knees side to side just to loosen up the lower back a little bit. Good. Just come into your breath. And now we're going to come into reclined hero pose. The modified reclined hero pose is either having one leg bent and the other leg extended for a minute and a half and then switching sides, or staying on your forearms in a reclined pose. So come onto your knees and your heels and set up your blocks here. I like to set mine for my shoulder area, right between the shoulder blades, in the highest setting. And the second highest setting to land my head, rest my head. What I want to do here is pull the first knee off of the mat, lift it up slightly, and then land it back down. And then do the same with the other side. And then slightly come off of my heels, bring my hands right in the knee crease, press my calves out towards the sides to give myself room to sit directly down deeper onto my mat. You can be sitting on a blanket here if that's better for you. And I can demonstrate this. You can be sitting on a blanket, right? And your knees, there's no set rule for this. You have to find your comfortable place here in this hero pose. So this is the time where you either do one side first and then the other, or you just set both legs up and then you come onto your forearms or the hands that are placed behind your hips. Either way, listen to your body so that you know where you need to go with yourself here. Whenever you're ready, slowly lower yourself down onto your blocks and then set your head on your block here for your reclined hero pose. Readjust as needed. Okay, we're here for 3 minutes. And your arms here, you can have your hands on your lower back, your abdomen here, your lower abs. You can have them just placed on either side of your body, palms facing up. And you can even slide them open into a T, feeling that greater sense of opening in your heart center here, opening the pectoral muscles, the front ribs, even the neck. Take a deep breath into the belly. And as you exhale, allow your legs to just sink deeper, feeling the stretch in your quads, your front heels, the front of your feet, the top of your feet, the shins, all the front line here. Another 30 seconds before you switch if you did one leg at a time. Relax the jaw. And then you can go ahead and switch sides. So extend the other leg out and then bend the other leg just like this to do one side at a time. Just allow your upper back to melt into your block if that's where you are. And if you're on your forearms, just allow your shoulders to let go. Taking deep breaths in your lower belly. For those of you who want a deeper sensation for the last 30 seconds, send your arms overhead and bring the thumb and the index palms together, pressed into the mat. Tuck the chin in. Feel that nice opening of the front line of the body from the pubic bone all the way to the sternum. And slowly bring those arms back down by your side. Bring the forearms down on your mat. And then slowly press yourself up on the palms of your hands. Slowly. Slowly. Then slowly walk your hands forward. And then come into a tabletop. And in stillness, just stay in your tabletop. And then remove your blanket or anything that was underneath you. Draw the knees in closer together. Sit your hips back down into your heels and roll yourself forward for a child's pose. Bring your forehead down on your mat, arms by your side, palms facing up. Take a deep breath into the lower back here. Giving space to the organs. And then exhale. Relax all of your body down into your thighs. And then we'll make our way onto our backs. So slowly roll onto your back, slowly. And you can draw in the knees into your chest, giving yourself a hug and feeling the flattening of the lower back onto the mat. Swaying side to side here. Notice how that feels when the weight of your hips and your legs are onto your back, your lower back. Just the weight of that lower body can create a beautiful sort of natural pressure down into your mat. Bring the soles of the feet back together on your mat. Lift your hips off of the mat. Bring your block right underneath your sacrum here at the lowest setting. Extend. You can stay here having your feet on the mat, about hip width apart, arms along your side or above your head. Or option to extend the legs forward and allowing a deeper opening of the front line of the body here. So we did a lot of postures that turned ourselves inwards, and now we're allowing ourselves that other type of centering where it's allowing ourselves to connect with the universe and opening our hearts up to a greater sense of centering and focus with ourselves. Take a deep breath in through the belly and through the nose, let it out, allowing the hips to sink into your block. Inhale deep into the hip joints, the hip flexors, the groin. Exhale, release the shoulders, your neck, the back of the head down into the earth. Here, when you extend your legs out, notice how your heels feel in your mat. Find a deeper sense of connection right at the back of your arms, all the points of contact on your mat. Congratulate your fingers for just curling in, being responsible for their own well-being. Relax your jaw, your cheekbones, your eyebrows, and your third eye area. One more deep breath. Slowly exhale. Empty it all out. On your next inhale, bring the soles of your feet on your mat if your legs were extended. Gently pressing out of the feet. Lift your hips off of the mat about an inch. Release the block. And then slowly lower your back on your mat. Then draw the knees into the chest, giving yourself a slight hug here. Beautiful. And then fully allow your body to melt down into your final shavasana here. Take a deep breath. Reach your arms overhead, point the toes, and give yourself a nice stretch here. And release. Notice your face and the biggest organ in our body, our skin. Allow your skin, feel your skin. Allow your skin to just melt down into the earth, almost connecting your skin to the skin of the earth, right? And thank yourself for showing up on your mat and taking the time for self-care. Mahalo nui loa. Sending love. Namaste.